And we are back. It is everyone's favorite designer, TheOneWillFocus. I know I have been gone for a little bit, but I'm back. Now, I was gone because I had a ton of projects, things that I was working on. I was changing some of my styling for illustration, but I am back. And today we are going to discuss how to create a cone shape label. So a lot of the times you think about labels in rectangular or square format, something you just slap on a cylindrical object or box object, but we never talk about pyramid or cone shapes, right? So here's what we have to do. When you're thinking of something in a cone shape, because that's what we're going to cover in this specific one, you have to realize that there are two different diameters, right? Or circumferences. There's a top circumference and there is a bottom circumference. And if you know anything about geometry, a circumference is the distance around a circle, right? So a cone, naturally, because it gets slimmer at the top or the bottom, depending upon which way you have it flipped, will have a smaller circumference on one portion of it and a larger on the other. Essentially, they're just two lines, right? And what you have to do is you have to, let's say we use our pen tool, right? So that's what we're going to start off with. We're going to hit P on our keyboard, click on the artboard anywhere. We're going to hold the shift key to constrain it to a straight line, and we're just going to click somewhere else, right? I'm going to hit the P button again just to end that. And we have a line. Now, with this line segment, right? I'm just going to click out of that. Take a look at it. Straight line. Nothing special, right? Now, in a normal label, it might look like this. I'm going to get my pen tool and just connect these points, right? So a normal label may look something like that, and then you would just, type your information on the inside. But a cone, if you were to try and wrap this around a cone shape, you're going to realize the ends don't meet. The top end, if the cone itself, right? Let's say the top of the cone was that size and the bottom was this size. And I'm going to align these all to the middle of the artboard just so that we have an idea. Okay, so let's say this is the top of the cone and this is the bottom. The problem is, and I'm just going to do this as an example, I'm going to connect these points, right? So this will make it easier visually for us to see. So let's say this is our cone. You already see, if we were to wrap this, there's going to be more space on the top than there is going to be on the bottom. So we have a problem inherently. This means these are going to overlap. It's not going to be flush. The sides aren't going to meet together and connect. So how do we solve that problem? Well, we have to look at it in two parts. We say, like I said before, the upper part might be a certain distance. So we have to learn that circumference or length for the upper part of the label. And then we have to learn the length for the bottom part of the label. All right. So if the length is here, let me straighten that out a bit, and we were to take these, I'm going to center them. All right, let's get that over here, and now that they're centered, we would then only have to connect the end point of here from the bottom circumference or length and line segment to the top one on both sides, and this is how the label will actually be made, right? So now we have this, we can fill in our information accordingly, because once we wrap it, the length of the top will reach exactly how it's supposed to on the top of the cone, or wherever you're going to start it on the cone, because you could start it in this area or the very bottom. And then the bottom part will be where it will meet on the bottom portion of the cone. So you only need to know what you want your top circumference to be for where the label is going to start, and what you want the bottom circumference to be for where the label is going to end. And once you wrap them around, each of these sides, because of how they fold inward, will connect properly. So, for example, let's say, I'm going to get rid of this. We had a cone that we knew was maybe, let's say 40 points long, right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get our pen tool out. I'm going to click here. And actually, you don't have to just use the pen tool. You can use the line segment tool as well, which is this tool. It's the slash on your keyboard. So we can change, using the line segment tool, the length of the line and the angle in which it goes at. So we're going to want this at 0 or 360 degrees, but we're going to put 0. All right. And we're going to leave fill line blank. And let's say we want this at, we'll do 40 for the top one. And we'll click OK. All right. And then let's say we want the bottom one to be 100. And we'll type in 100. We'll put 0 again for the angle. We'll click OK. And boom. We have our 2 line segments. So now let's highlight those. Let's center them. And then we're going to go from one portion, the bottom circumference, and connect it to the top on both left and right side. And now we have the actual label area we can work with. And then you can just fill in the information that you might want. And I'm going to enlarge this just so that we can see it. You can fill in the label information that you want on the inside. So let's say I want title here, logo here, ignore my spelling, and we'll drag that like here, and we could put like a barcode or something, and align everything as if it's going to be straight when placed on the actual label. So here you go. Fill this, put that there. Get a barcode, have a logo, maybe some directions. And an image can be like right here. And you align everything that you're going to want on the actual label. And then once you put it together, it'll wrap around nicely. It will look like, in some instances, because you're wrapping it, it's at an angle, but it won't be. It's just how the ends of the actual image connect. It's how they meet, zipper or align together. So this is how you create a label for a cone. It's fairly simple. Always remember, find out the circumference of the cone where you want the label to start, and then the circumference where you want it to end. And that'll give you the label that you need once you connect the top circumference and the bottom circumference via the left and right line segments. Okay, so if you have any questions, you have any information that you need, feel free to reach out. I'll also be making other tutorials as we go along. Some things that'll be quick. If you have any specific tutorial that you'd like to see, send me an email, message me, leave it in the comments, and I will develop a tutorial for you. Okay, take it easy. Be sure to follow on Instagram, YouTube, TheOneWillFocus on all social media, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.